All right, so the next thing we're going to learn today is how to give an injection. So you're going to drop a solution and give an injection. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you draw up everything before you go into the room. You don't want to be messing around in the patient's room, especially if they're afraid of needles. So you're going to get your needle and take it out of the package. And then you'll see there's this rubber stopper here. And see how you see these two lines and then a little V? So when you're drawing up a solution, you want to make sure that you are pulling back and that that top line goes to where you're injecting, to what solution. So for our instance, we are going to do to 0.5. So 0.5, we're going to pull it back so that top line of our rubber stopper is right at that 0.5. When you're drawing up something, you want to inject as much air into the vial that you're going to be pulling out. So we're going to be pulling out 0.5, so we're going to inject 0.5 in here. So we're going to clean off the top with alcohol. And if you see here, you see how there's that inner rubber circle? That's the area that we're going to be putting our needle into. So we're going to inject our air into the solution, and then we're going to pull back. Now, the big things that people do wrong is that they don't hold the bottle up, that the needle tip isn't in your solution, so when they pull back their fluid, they can't see that their needle tip and they're like, why is this not working? Well, because you're not in the solution. So make sure your needle tip is in the solution. And then we're gonna pull back to our 0.5, however much we're drying up. I like to pull back a little bit further, flick this side to make sure there's no air bubbles, and then I can make sure that I'm lined up exactly to that 0.5. So what that looks like here is right there's my 0.5 and right there is my rubber stopper. So normally we would never recap. Normally what we would do would be to push up our safety and get a new needle, because one of two things can happen. One, you dull your needle whenever you are putting it through this rubber stopper, or sometimes you can core and have a piece of rubber in your needle tip and you don't want to inject that in a patient. But for our instance, we are going to be using a stress ball or an orange, and it doesn't care. Okay, so because we're using the same needle, when you recap, you never want to try and recap this way where you're putting it on. You will poke yourself. So instead, you're going to leave the cap on the counter and you're going to do a scooping method where you scoop that up. All right, and then put it on. If you've used this needle on a patient, never, ever, ever, ever recap. You're going to push up the safety. But for us, we're reusing the same noodles for our stress ball, so it doesn't matter. All right, so now we are ready to give our injection. So we're going to get our area. We want to make sure that it's free of any tattoos, scarring, open wounds, cirrhotic plaques, anything. We want to find a clean area on the muscle. For this, we're giving an IM muscle, so it'd be like right here on our arm. Now, whenever we give an injection, I like to do the darting method where you go in fast. If you go in really slow, people think, well, I'm doing them a service. I'm not hurting them. I'm going in slow. No, that's way more painful. So you want to go in fast, like a dart. So we're going to clean off our area. Let me adjust a little bit. So we're going to clean off our area really good. So you can either do a circular motion, you can do a back and forth motion, however you like, but the area you want to be clean with alcohol. I like to pinch the muscle, so I pinch it good. So that way I'm already getting those proprioceptors stimulated, so they're not going to feel the needle, they're feeling me pinch. So I pinch it, then we're going to take it off and we're going to go straight in, okay? And it's a darting method, so straight in, fast. The faster, the better. Then we're going to pull back just a little tiny bit, just a little flick, just to make sure you're not in a blood vessel before you inject. So it's not a big, like, huge sucking air in. It's just a quick little flip of the finger just to make sure that you're not in blood. If you were in a vessel, you would see blood come in. So we know we're not in a vessel, we're going to inject quickly and then pull out fast. Immediately when you pull out, you want to put pressure on this area because it will ooze back or bleed a little bit, and you want to apply pressure right away. Then when we go to close up our needle, again, we are not going to recap. We're just going to flip this up, and that closes the safety. So now the needle is covered, and we can put that to the side, and we're just going to hold pressure. Then we're going to check, make sure that he's not bleeding, or she, or they, them, and then apply a Band-Aid. All right, if you have any questions, please refer. You can either email me or ask me whenever you see me around LECOM. All right, have a great day.